Hey everybody, it's Rob Nazarian with Talk Android, and we're going to look at Motorola's version of ice cream sandwich for the DROID RAZR and RAZR MAXX. It's just becoming available. It's being tested by soak testers and should be available the next day or so. Motorola was nice enough to send me a RAZR MAXX preloaded with the brand new ICS, and we're going to take a look at it, do a little walkthrough here. I know a lot of you are familiar with ICS already, ice cream sandwich, and but however, I'm trying to do this video kind of like on the basis that a lot of you haven't experienced ICS at all and just aren't familiar with it. So anyways, there's a lot of changes here. We're going to go through them. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get every change, but I'm going to try to get the main stuff here. Let's start with the lock screen. Lock screen is pretty much revamped. As you can see here, there's this one little key here. If you press that, you get 4 choices to open the device to. Now, before I get into that, this is the vibrate and ring function that was originally in the center. In the center of the slider before in Gingerbread. So, anyways, if you touch it, you'll see the different choices: phone, camera, and text and unlock. You can slide or you can just simply tap. So if I just go to the right, I unlock it to the main screen, and of course if I can tap as well, I can go right to the camera. So it's your choice basically if you want to slide to unlock or tap. Of course the camera was already on there, so that's why that opened up to the camera. See, I'll do it again. So I've opened up to whatever you left off at, obviously. Now, the launcher is basically ICS completely. The whole look is ICS. As you can see, there is the app drawer there. That's where you launch it. More about that in a second. But basically, you have now 4 choices for apps on the bottom versus the 3 that you had in Gingerbread. Of course, the launcher was all the way to the right. In Gingerbread now it's in the center, basically like stock ICS. Now, in the apps drawer, basically it still goes from right to left. Basically, the look is a little different. As you can see, as I go from right to left, you'll see the next screen kind of pop up or go down. And that's just a little bit different than the way Gingerbread was, but that's minor and not a big deal. As part of the app drawer now, Widgets has moved to there for better or for worse. It's no more, you don't get to it by long pressing on the home screen anymore. So you have your choice of widgets there. And more about that in a second. The one area here where Motorola has added into their UI aspect of things is basically being able to group apps. There isn't much different here. There's a little bit different actually. Frequent is the new one there, and that basically was originally recent, and now they're going with frequent. There's also one other new thing here. It's called add group to home. So basically whatever group of apps that you've created, you can send it right to the home screen as a folder, which is also nice. So obviously you can create groups and do whatever you want with the apps, just like you could with Gingerbread. There isn't really much different. Also, here is a quick link to the Play Store as well, which is nice. So you can go right into the Play Store, and of course you can go to the Play Store through your normal app icon as well anyway. And that's pretty much it there. So oh, let's go back there for the widgets. The widgets pretty much they're offering pretty much the same widgets as they were in Gingerbread. A couple of different looks though. The email and the calendar both are dark now, dark black. You're going to notice that theme a lot with Motorola's ICS, in that basically stock ICS is pretty much a white background, but Motorola is pretty much going with a lot of the same look as far as fonts and stuff goes, but they're going with the dark black background. So the email and calendar, when you go all the way over, it goes right into apps, is black. I think I loaded the calendar here. There it is there, so you can kind of see there it's darker than the usual white. So and you can quickly go to all apps too by clicking up there. So that's pretty much it for the launcher. Now on the main home screen you have your 5 home screens just like before. Now one of the things which in traditional stock ICS is there's no capacitive buttons, but since the DROID RAZR and RAZR MAXX were created before ICS, well actually the RAZR MAXX came after ICS was announced, and the RAZR was actually announced the day that ICS was announced, but these phones were in the making before that anyway. So these have the capacitive button, so there is going to be some differences. You end up with a menu key, and what happens there is the menu key for all apps, for example, let me just go into the People app here for a second. Generally you'll have 3 dots here for the menu key for the Galaxy Nexus and let's say the HTC One X. With this you will not. You'll always have to, if you want the menu, you'll press the menu button just like in the past. So that's actually in a sense pretty good since you're coming from Gingerbread and used to that. Now on the main screen here, if you hit the menu button, it's a little different. You don't get as many choices. You can, the wallpaper is still part of it, manage apps, and settings is part of it, but nothing else. Now, in traditional ICS, you can get to the system settings from the notification bar, and that's right here. So you can go right into the settings, and that is the same here as well. System settings, or you can go into manage apps and to kill apps. Going back to notification bar, if you have a bunch of apps here, you can kill them by swiping them. I don't have any right now. Any other notifications, I don't have much set up with the phone. Of course, you can hit X to get rid of them all. And as far as the top goes, there really isn't much different here. Maybe a little bit different color shade. The battery is now vertical as opposed to horizontal, but really not much that's going to be different there or that's going to be alarming to you. And also going back to the bottom capacitive buttons, there's not a task launcher like you would have in ICS. And so what's going to happen is you're used to this. You're used to holding down the home key to get to your most recent apps to find them. That's the same case here, except instead it gives you that look of the task launcher from ICS, and you can go in and look at your different apps. And then also if you want to go to one, you can go to them, or you can swipe. So basically, you know, you can basically close it. For example, here's the browser. We'll go to the browser. Now, since we're going to the browser, let's talk about that. The browser is also new. Pretty much the same as far as how it all works, but you can, it's now has tabs. So you press there and you get tabs, and you can add tabs. And so right now it'll just go to the normal stock Google. So basically you can switch back and forth with the tabs, and you can have a bunch of them open, and you can swipe to close it as well, and then, you know, go to whatever tab you want to go to. So that's pretty much that. That's basically a stock, the stock browser from ICS. Okay, now on the home screen, the other major thing that came with ICS is folders. So basically you have your icons. This is pretty much how the phone came. I haven't done too much customization at all. And let's say I want to put the email and the browser together. Basically I just long press, and as you know, you can always move it around to wherever you want. That's the same, but I can just go ahead and put it right over the browser there, and now I've created a folder, and all I have to do is tap it and it opens up. I can choose one of the apps there. I can also add to it. So say I want to put the Play Store in there, so to free up space on your home screen. So now I have 3 items. I can quickly remove them just by bringing it out, and there you go, and then there's no folder left. Now you can also do that with your dock as well, which is something I utilize a lot with my Galaxy Nexus, because it really saves a lot of space, plus they're utilized on all your screens, as you know. So basically, let's say I want to put the browser down here with texting. I now have a folder right in there, bingo, that folder is now available to me from any screen. Whoops, available to me from any screen. So that's something I really like. So, and again, you can just quickly remove them, and of course you can replace any of these icons as well to whatever app, or replace any of these apps to whatever you want in there. But I definitely recommend using the browsers as much as you can. Now let's just go back into system settings again. There's some differences here. You're going to find some new stuff like data usage, which comes from ICS. This gives you a chance to really look at where all your data is being used and where it's coming from and how much data you're using. So this is really nice. It's part of the ICS, so definitely look into this if you are not on an unlimited plan and data is of concern to you. Other than that, you know, it's a little bit different of a layout here, but you have most of the same types of choices here. Let's just go to About Phone, and you'll see it's Android 4.0.4, which is the latest version until probably a little bit later today when 4.1 gets announced at Google I/O. So God knows when this phone will get it, but right now you've got the latest version coming. Some of the icons look a little different too, like the browser and the text has changed a little bit for a different look, but they all pretty much have the same function. Now, Contacts is now called People. That's part of ICS, and we'll just go in there quickly. Basically, it's got a much better look now, and it'll give you a better high-res picture for your image and much bigger. Also, when you receive phone calls, you'll get a better high-res picture as well. Now, one thing I did find was, even though I had high-res pictures in there from my Galaxy Nexus, for whatever reason, the pictures came through as low-res, so I had to redo them. And it's exactly what I had to do with my Nexus when I got it 6 or 7 months ago. I had to redo all my pictures. So I wouldn't think I'd have to redo them here, you know, since they're already part of my contacts, but I had to do it again. The picture that I originally had here in this sample contact was lousy, and it's much better now that I, you know, redid it. So basically, it's basically an overall better look. It has the ICS theme to it. Again, it's darker as opposed to white. This is where your menu is going to be, where you can edit and do whatever you want, setting ringtones, delete, share, whatever there. Now, on the main screen, you've got your letters here where you can quickly go up and down. And there's a little bit of a difference here. You now have groups, people, and favorites, as opposed to what was before was the dialer, recent, contacts, and favorites. And now down here you didn't have any options before. Now you do. You can add a contact here. You have your dialer here, and you have your search down here at the bottom right. And basically you've got some menu options here as well that you can do for importing and exporting, and you know, accounts and different things like that if you have different Google accounts. So overall, it's much better looking. It's similar, but it has the ICS theme to it, which is really nice. Now, let's see. I'm just looking at some notes here, see if I'm missing some things. The camera. Let's look at the camera. In fact, let's just open the camera up from the lock screen just to show you. So when you need to take a picture quickly, you can go right to it. There isn't much different about the camera. You're going to notice a couple of things here which aren't on the original version. I'm not even sure what that little hand was, but this icon here looks like it has to do with zooming. So, not zooming. Focusing. Sorry. So when it's focused, that turns red. Basically, there's a little bit of a different look. This icon for effects is a different. Again, all the same stuff in there though. The zoom looks a little different, but that works the same way. And also, when taking video, you can now take a picture once you hit record, you'll have the option of taking a picture at the same time. However, it's not the same as the HTC One X or the Galaxy S3 where you get a high-res image. It's basically, let me just put something under here anyway. That's from the Acer Iconia Tab A700 unboxing I did earlier. You can go ahead and press record, and there's the option to take a picture. That picture is only going to be at the resolution of the video. So 1920 by 1280, there's my video. So pretty much that's that. And of course you can go back to picture there. You can switch to your front lens as well. As far as looking at the images, it's pretty much the same setup here. And that's the picture that I took while I was shooting the video. So pretty much straightforward there. Now, Smart Actions is one of Motorola's applications that they have added, and that just has a little bit different look right now, and it's dark now instead of white. Again, that's what I was mentioning before. Most of the stuff is dark now, and that's really not much else to say there. There might be some different profiles and things, but I think it's pretty much the same. Motocast is also available here, and as you know, you can get into that from your settings and your accounts, and that's where you'd set up Motocast, add account, and you'd Motocast ID right there. And let's see, I think I mentioned that the icons look a little different. Some of them, the camera one definitely looks different. Overall, I think it flows. I think Motorola did a fantastic job with this. They did take the longest to get ICS going, which is surprising since Google took them over, and they have a pretty good relationship with Google. But they definitely gave us more of the pure ICS experience, which right now none of the other main manufacturers have done that, like Samsung and HTC. I know you're seeing it on some of the tablets, like with Asus and the Transformers. They're pretty much stock, and the Toshiba tablets and even the Acer tablets are all very much stock like. But as far as phones go right now, for the main phones out there, it's hard to find a good stock ICS, obviously without a Nexus. So this is really refreshing. I know Motorola was slammed when, a year or two ago, as everyone said, that their blur was awful and all that good stuff. Well, right now here they are with the most stock looking Android UI. Another thing just to mention here is the Google search. In the ICS, it's on every home screen. Of all 5 home screens, you'd see it. Here it's not, and that's actually very nice. I don't see any need to have that on every screen, but so Motorola does offer it as a widget where you can put it where you want. And I think that's pretty much it. So let me just take a quick look. I mean, as of the main stuff, I know there might be some things I missed. Feel free to leave them in the comments. If you have any questions, ask me as well. I think I've pretty much hit all the main stuff. I haven't spent a lot of time with it, but so far it seems very smooth. Couple things here I noticed. Is there anything new here? I'm not sure if the color is new. If there was another minor update, the color came. But color is here, which is on all Verizon phones now for sharing video in real time. And also video calling is one that's new. I believe that is new. That just basically gives you an option to download Tango or Uvu. And to me, the bottom line is you've got right here Talk, which does very good video chatting with anybody with a Gmail account, and that works great. And pretty much that's all I would recommend. Or you can use Google Hangouts if you need to have more than 2 people in the video chat. So that's something Google doesn't push enough. But anyways, I have a guide on that as well on the site, so you can check that out. So I think that's it. if there's any other issues or questions, leave them in the comments, or if I forgot anything, help out some others with some comments, but I think I pretty much hit the main points. So I hope you enjoy ICS. If you have a DROID RAZR MAXX, it's coming soon. I guess it's coming to the Bionic as well at some point, but I hope this helps you, and I thank you very much for watching. This is Rob Nazarian with Talk Android.